قال هل أدلك قال يا آدم هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. Should I tell you, O Adam, about the tree of eternity and a kingdom that never perishes? What else do we want? That's exactly what we want. We want to live forever, and we want a kingdom that never vanishes. That is exactly what the shaitan is promising Adam. In return for what? To violate Allah in a very simple order, by the way. That was not a prohibition from adultery, a prohibition from anything, eating from that one single tree. While the entire paradise is his soul listened to his heart. He likes to live for eternity, and his soul made the decision that I will eat from that tree. What happened to Adam is he forgot. It was a moment, a second of forgetfulness that led him to indulgence. But the temptation did not come in any mysterious way. Likewise, the shaitan goes to a person and tells him, you want the next $1 million? Sign this contract. Right? You want to get the green card? Forge this paper. You want to get this? Do that. And every time the shaitan invites us to do something, he is not to blame. He is not to blame. And the Quran tells us exactly that he is not working with us in any influential way. He has no power to force you to do anything. And he says on the day of judgment, وَلَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ when the matter is decided and over, the shaitan comes and he would tell us, مَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُم مِّن سُلْطَانٍ I had no power or force against you, إِلَّا أَن دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي I invited you and you responded to me. It's your choice. You could tell me no, but you tell me yes, don't blame me. I am only a trigger, but you have the ability to tell me no and cut me off and say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم and do something different. Do the opposite of what I am telling you. But if you do what I am telling you, don't blame me because I don't get to enjoy the pleasures that you do. When he invites you to do something, it is because you like it. When you like something and you do it, there's a certain pleasure in doing what you want. But the shaitan is saying, don't blame me and take the pleasure. If you take the pleasure, you take the responsibility as well. For us to understand how to tackle those temptations of the shaitan, we have to be clear that only if you love nothing but what pleases Allah and you hate everything that displeases Allah, only then the shaitan has no point of entry into you. The window is shut off. He has no way of seeing anything, because if he wants to tempt you to do something, then maybe he will want to tell you, go ahead and pray, because that's what you love to do. Maybe go ahead and do charity. But even there, he may be able to still manipulate that by changing your intention. So you do the right thing, but for the wrong reason. You do the right thing with the wrong intention. Again, Allah knows it, and the shaitan knows what he's doing. So not only do we have to love all what Allah loves, and to hate and dislike all what He hates, but we also have to work on our sincerity and our intention. We have to dig deep down in our heart and answer that very serious question, why? That is the most prevalent question that we will be asked on the Day of Judgment. On the Day of Judgment, angels will ask people of hellfire. May Allah protect us all from hellfire. And He would tell them, مَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ Why are you here? What put you down here? What did you do? It's a question. Why did you not listen to Allah? Why did you listen to your whims and desires? Why did you listen to yourself? And the Quran treats this issue in hundreds of ways, from hundreds of angles, so that nothing is left for us as an excuse. The Quran says, judge not by your feeling. because your feeling can deceive you. The Quran says, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا. You may dislike something, you may hate something that is good for you. And you may like something, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ. You may want to do it, and do it now. I want to divorce you. You've been telling me to divorce you. I am divorcing you now. Who's winning? Who's winning? So Islam puts some brakes on those impulsive behaviors. Islam tells us you cannot divorce your wife during her menstruation. If you're angry, you don't know what you're doing, you can divorce her during menstruation and you don't know what's going on. Right? So Islam says this divorce is invalid. It doesn't really count. It is null and void from the beginning. So Islam tries to give us protections against ourselves, against our desires. We're not using those. And all what it takes is to think Allah. Don't think yourself. Don't think your surrounding. Don't think your environment. Because once you do this, you become captive and reactionary and impulsive to your environment no matter what. Or to yourself, or to your feelings, or to your fears, or hopes, or aspirations, or dreams. So we have so many things working on us, but the Quran tells us only when your heart is filled with the love of Allah and is purified from all else, then the shaitan has no penetration into your heart. And that's why the Quran says, وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ. Anyone who denounces and rejects any rule other than the rule of Allah, anything other than what Allah loves for you as a believer, if you reject that, وَيُؤْمِن بِاللَّهِ, and you believe in Allah, فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى لَا انْفِصَامَ لَهَا. You've now been holding on to the strongest tie to the rope of Allah that will never disconnect. It will never disconnect. You can never be defeated if you're holding on to Allah. That's why the Quran says in hundreds of places, قُلِ اللَّهِ, say Allah, ثُمَّ ذَرْهُمْ فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ, and let them play whatever they want to play. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, say it is Allah, the unique one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say Allah. If you don't say Allah enough to yourself, then your soul will tend to succumb to what your heart desires. And if your heart is not fed well through your spirit by faith and consciousness of the presence of Allah, which we call in Arabic taqwa, to be God-fearing, God-conscious, then you fall, and you fall easily. And when corrected, you denounce it. You say, I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, you don't feel that it is wrong, but it is wrong. Everybody is telling you that it is wrong what you have done. But you don't want to accept it. Why? Because you're so self-indulged. And that's where the Quran comes to tell us, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُ اتَّقِ اللَّهِ. And if anybody tells them, fear Allah, be observant of Allah, أَخَذَتْهُ الْعِزَّةُ بِالْإِثْمِ. He is taken over by the arrogance of sinfulness. The arrogance of the power of position, the power of money, the power of place, the power of anything, and he rejects the corrections that come to him. That is not the believer. That is not the believer. The believer is supposed to be very humble, very sensitive when Allah's name is mentioned. الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. Those, when Allah's name is mentioned, their hearts become shaky. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. And when His ayat are recited unto them, the verses of the Quran are recited unto them, it increases them in faith. They don't answer with arrogance. They don't tell you, oh brother, I know what you're saying, but that is arrogant. That is arrogant. When Allah speaks, everybody has to humble. Everybody has to listen.